Hello and welcome to hobby vlog number 138. Now I'm recording this on Friday because tomorrow I travel and I will be publishing this on Sunday. So it's been a bit of a shorter week, but also it's going to be a shorter video anyway because I've spent a lot of time this week working on Battle Games in Middle-earth. I'm doing three, I've not started the middle one, I'm doing two builds at the same time. Because I'm working towards an awesome collaboration. So that's taken pretty much most of my hobbying time this week, but I have managed to get a few things done. I've worked on finishing some projects I needed to get done for the end of the month, like the TCU challenge, painting up those high noon figures, and also I've continued to work on the lake. So short video, really hope you enjoy it. When you watch this, I'll be having a lot of fun with my friend and looking forward to seeing him. I will be back next week for another short week, because most of the week I won't be hobbying at all. But I will be back for a vlog next week, so don't worry. Please let me know in the comments below if you like this vlog. Your comments do really inspire me, so don't be shy. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again at the end. Because I've got hundreds of other things to do, I've just decided to come down to the workshop. I've made use of my new bench, which is awesome, and I've cut the wood for 10 more of my tiles. I've just been putting it off and putting it off. These sea tiles and some land tiles, and I've got loads more I want to make. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make use of this new machinery, and I've made use of my pillar drill, which is awesome because I've not used it yet. This is the first time, and that has been very, very useful. So yeah, 10 new tiles are going to come together. I'm going to glue and screw them together and then stick them down, stick the bases on top, or the tiles on top, and then they can go into storage nicely and be usable, which is good. So very, very pleased to have actually finally got that done. I still need to work out a little bit better on my dust collection over here, if that will focus. Don't know, yes, it's very dusty over there. But yeah, it's better than it was, and at least I can hoover it very, very quickly. And Thelma and Louise have come in to see what all the noise is about, as they do. Hey Lulu, hello pup. She's a sweetheart. Oh, and there's Xena as well. They're keeping me honest. Right, I'm going to tidy up because shortly Angela and Rosie will be home from shopping on Sunday, and I'm going to have to stop making noise. So let's get cracking. So the next and final touch for this, it's looking great now, is to add a little bit of life to the base. So what I've done is I've pulled out some little metal ducks and some little metal rabbits, and also this, which I have no idea where I got it from, but it's a sprue of wild animals, and I'm going to paint them up and then stick them all over. And last but not least, I've got this, which I already painted. This was painted as part of my snake temple, which is one of my favourite things I've ever made still, and I'm going to have that sitting in the tree watching. So I'll glue that in place as well. So these need some cleaning up. They've got a little bit of flash and what have you, so I'm just going to now snip them off, clean them up carefully, stick them to my tongue depressor, and then go and prime and paint them, and then stick them in place, and then that'll be done. So nearly finished, but still got this final push before I can say that it's actually finished. Right, so we have an arrangement of animals to stick to this, and I'm going to do it now. So just going to use super glue and stick them in places. I'm thinking about putting the cat in the tree. I think that'd be quite fun, and I think up there looks pretty good. So a bit of super glue and drop that cat in there. There we are, there's the cat. I'm going to have the this vulture right on the top there. So a bit of super glue there, and the vulture can sit there. There we are. We then have a dog. So I think the dog, maybe the dog could be near the bones. Let's turn this round where the bones are. And the dog could maybe be kind of sat like that. That looks good, doesn't it? And maybe a little bit hidden, but I quite like little like Easter eggy type things like that. through there. There we are. If at first it doesn't stick, whack some more glue down. There we are, that should be okay. So those are the simple ones to do. I have a rat, which I'm going to stick in right hidden in the undergrowth somewhere. I think just in here. There we are. We have a snake. Let's put one, we've got two snakes actually. Let's put one snake. It's actually quite hard this because I've built this up a lot. There we are. That can sit in there. Kind of camouflaged a bit against the red. There we are. But still pretty cool. And maybe what I'll do is I'll have the chicken or the duck. I need to snip the base off the duck a bit. It's got a pudding base on it. This isn't really what you want. Pyong! I actually did see where that went, so we can go and get that in a second. But I'm going to put the pigeon kind of in here. The pigeon, the duck, and the concept will be, let's tuck that in there, there we are. The concept could be that the duck is about to be got by that snake. There we are. Now, this is probably my favourite. Very pleased with how that's turned out. There's a snake. Very cool. So that one is going to be front and centre. Right in there. And that leaves a little rabbit. And the chicken. So the rabbit can tuck in back. Nope, that's not going to work for me. The rabbit can tuck in there. There we are, very hidden away, but that's cool. And finally the chicken. Where have I not got anything? There we are. Chicken can go there. So I think that is the final touches. I'm going to sleep on it for a bit. See whether I want to change anything, but I'm pretty happy with that. Let them dry, hopefully they'll all stay stable, and yeah, I think that's wrapped up. Next step on the jetty is to make the boards, the actual boards that go across it. So I've just measured, and about 8 centimetres is a good width, but I'm not wanting to do this accurately, so I'm literally just going to come along here and physically break these coffee stirrers, just use my fingers, not looking, as I say, to get a good result. And I can save waste if I want to have a couple of shorter lengths like that, so I don't have so much waste. So it's going to take me a little bit. I'm probably going to get a chunk of these created like this, then paint them. I'll use exactly the same technique, so that like reddy brown and then a little bit of green on it. Won't take long. So what I'll do is I'll get these all prepared, and when I'm ready to start sticking them in place, I'll bring you back and show you how they look and how I'm going to stick them in place. But you don't have to be accurate with this because we're doing a slightly damaged, old looking jetty, so accuracy is actually not your friend, so you can work quite fast like that. And how about that, I've run out of coffee stirrers in this pack. I'm going to have to open my next one. Though I did buy these a long time ago, so they've lasted me a good long while. And look at that, that last one will be just about okay as well. So I'll get this painted up and bring you along when I'm about to glue them. Alright, so I've finished painting up these. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them on. Like that. So I will be using super glue as per. So yeah, there's still some super glue in that pot, that's good. I decided against putting the green on yet. I figured I might do that once it's glued and dried, because then I can do stains that go across more than one. But this is going to take a little bit of time, and I probably will do this in multiple steps, because I put a few on, let it dry so I don't knock them, because I'm a bit clumsy and it's easy for me to do stupid things and make mistakes, as long-term viewers will know. I'm quite good at trashing my models by accident. So yeah, I'll just get this done. I'll probably not record the whole process because it is literally just going to be this. And then when it's done, I'll show you what it looks like. You can see it's going to be quite a nice, cool little jetty. And then I can get back to pouring resin, which is what I'm most excited about. Because, yeah, once that's done, I can start building up all the scenery around the edges. Which is obviously also going to be quite a big job. I've started painting up some barrels and what have you to go down here, so I'll glue those in as well, and I'll probably put a little bit more greenery actually around the base of the uprights, just because I think there would be. So I might put some more of these plants here, the fake plants, just along the edges. But I'll bring you along when I get to that. For now, I'm just going to spend the next day or so doing this in spare moments and then letting it to go off. So there we are. I'll probably stop there now. Cool. Kickstarter games are really starting to arrive in a rush now. This is one called So You've Been Eaten, which actually arrived quite quickly, to be fair, not delayed like most of them. This is the fun game where you're a miner, space miner, but the thing that you're trying to mine is actually inside of a monster's belly. And that's what the game board is. And you've got to try to avoid being digested and get out the other end with whatever it is you're trying to mine. So a really, really good fun game. Came with with an expansion. I believe one of the guys involved has Crohn's disease, and so this was to raise money for charity, which I bought because I like having everything, but also because supporting those sorts of things is very, very important, I believe. So I'm not going to open the shrimp again, just showing that it's arrived. This one is a solo game as well as a cooperative or a game, so I should be able to get a game of it in, and I will do an unboxing in another vlog, and then try to get a video on of me playing it if I can, but I need to have it play it a few times to get some practice. But yeah, really happy it arrived. It had a lot of good reviews. The creator, Ludi Creations, has good reputation, so I'm pretty confident it's going to be a good game. And yeah, really, really pleased that it arrived well packed and in good time, which is also quite rare in Kickstarter terms. So as you can see, pretty much all the base colours are done on this now. There's a few bits and pieces that I haven't got to yet, but most of it is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along with some Agrax, and I'm going to apply a wash. Now the reason I use Agrax is because it gives a bit of a kind of dirtier look to these sorts of colours. And once I've done the Agrax, then I'll come along, and I have actually got the Carroburg, not the Carroburg Crimson, that's what I want, the Reichend Flesh Shade, which I will put over all of the skin. But you can see, hopefully, just what a dramatic difference adding a little bit of Agrax does to a model. It takes it from being quite flat to being, well, having texture and everything like that. So basically, pretty much everywhere I'm going to Agrax apart from the skin, and then I'll come along and do the skin as a separate pass. And then pretty much we're ready for basing. So I'll get that done, and I'll bring you along for the basing step when I get to it. There we are, we've got our pier or jetty. Might put a few more at this end, but for now I've got enough certainly for over where the water is. I've also put a couple of little bits of detritus, so there's a barrel there and a couple of barrels, a crate. So what I'm going to do now is work underneath here. So I'm going to get some more of this stuff, and I'm going to get some more other greenery. I'll just build up underneath and around the piles just to make it look a little bit more weedy, and then I can get to start to pour. Now, I don't think I'm going to get to pour before my week away, unfortunately. So when I get back, I'll get to do that. But I think that pretty much everything else I'm happy with. I've got a few more bones and what have you to throw in here. I'll glue down as well in this session. But you've seen how I do this enough times, so I'm just going to get this done. And I'll bring you back at the end when I've finished, show where the bones are, show what it looks like with all the greenery. And then it's going to have to go underneath a sheet for a week while I'm away. And then when I get back, I'll have another look at it. Well, there we are. That's a nice amount of greenery underneath there. I haven't overwhelmed it, but I've put some on both sides, as you can see, and just adds to that flavour. Also over here, I've put my bones in. These are chicken bones that I dried. I've actually added a little bit more greenery as well, but you can see that there's a trail of bones going down to that large one there, which tells a little bit of a story. Whatever story that is up to you. So now I'm going to let that all dry, and I won't be able to do anything now before I go away, as I've said. But when I come back, I will finish the resin pour, and very, very excited for that. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. And then can start looking at building up the rest of the scenery around here. And also I can take that dam off, which is, as I think I've said, the thing that I'm most nervous of right now. If that doesn't come off properly, I'm not sure what I'll do. Okay, so these are now ready for basing, which is going to be the second last task. And I'm going to make use of Geek Gaming, or when I bought a Luke's APS modelling compound, not modelling compound, base ready, and also his fast drying glue, which is awesome. And the way that I do it is I put a bit onto the base, front and back, and it's very tacky, as you can see. And then I make use of a toothpick to spread it around. Don't use a brush because it will destroy your brushes. And I've actually found that even if you have a brush you don't care about, you actually get a slightly better result with the toothpick because you can push it a little bit more. It doesn't clog as much. So once you've got a good covering on your base, you just dip it in. Like so. And there we have it. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll paint the rims, and then we're done. And I'll do that for the rest of the miniatures in exactly the same way. I'm getting very, very close to finishing this now, which is really cool. Well, the basing went well, and I did that last night, so I've let it to dry overnight. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to seal it. Now I do have Luke's spray glue for sealing, but I always find the spray bottles are rubbish. So what I do is I decant them into a container, and then I'm just dipping it in, letting it drip off. Take the worst excess off on some kitchen roll or kitchen towel, whatever you want to call it, and that now will seal that in, make sure nothing falls off, because yeah, having bits and pieces all over your table when you're playing with your miniatures is a bit rubbish, isn't it? And this is a very, very quick process, as you can see. Literally dip, let it just pour off a little bit, take the excess, and you're done. And that'll be dry very shortly, and then I'll go and paint the rims, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. Basically, I'm going to paint the rims the same colour as the base was, and that will allow me to easily identify on the table different sides and who's who and what have you. So yeah, very nearly finished this project. Very pleased to have done it. Very cool to have been inspired to do it by the Wild West gaming Discord. Well done, Ben, for setting that up. So yeah, really, really nice to have a little challenge that just encourages you really to do something and get something finished. So I'll get those done, and I'll bring you back for the rim painting, which will happen later on today, because this is the last day I've got to finish this project. Well, the final stage before varnishing is to paint the rims. Now what I'm going to do, just put a bit more light on it, I'm going to paint it to the same colour as the base was, you know, as the base plastic is, because that actually does have a meaning in the game, and it allows you to identify your miniature. So for these ones, for the brown ones, I've gone with Vallejo chocolate. I'm just going to very carefully paint around the edges in brown, and I'll paint the correct colour for each base onto each miniature. And as I say, the reason I'm doing this, it makes it tidier as well, but also it does have a meaning in the game, so it's worthwhile. Now I've got some printable stickers that will go on the bottom of each of these, which I'm not going to do yet because I'm waiting to fill a sheet up with miniatures, but I will stick up on the bottom what the character is called as well, so I never get confused. So let me pick another one at random. Brown as well, the one brown as well. So this one, for example, is green. So what we'll do is we'll pick ourselves a green, and I'll paint that green. So yeah, I'll do all that, and then we'll get a wrap up. As I say, I'll just need to varnish it then, but everything is pretty hard on with how I've done the painting. So yeah, that's it. Good project. I'm really pleased to have got it done, and I hope that's been interesting to watch. As I say, you don't need to be an expert painter to get a good enough result for tabletop, and I certainly think these are good enough for tabletop, certainly for me anyway. So hopefully that will inspire you just to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen at the end of the day? You can wash them if they're rubbish, you can clean them off and start again, because Vallejo paints and pretty much all hobby paints now are water based, so pretty easy. Bit of alcohol, bit of a old stiff bristle toothbrush, and you can get it back to plain very, very easily. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you what it looks like when they're done. Well, there we are, as I said, short and sweet, but lots and lots of hobbying done that wasn't in this vlog, so I hope that you will enjoy when you get to see that in the Battle Games of Middle-earth video, one of which will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and the other one is not going to be for several months, and there is going to be one in the middle. So yeah, lots to look forward to there. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. I know that I say this every time, but I really do appreciate it. And the comments that you leave below really inspire me, so thank you very much. I will wrap up by saying, as I do at the moment, hopefully not for very much longer, we must hold out hope. But if anyone out there, directly or indirectly impacted by the horrible war in Ukraine, thoughts go out to you. And everyone, please do stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.